Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Chit Chat with Char, where our mission is to connect, collaborate, and cultivate. On today's show, we have Mr. Matthew Soto with eXp Realty and Stash Realty. I am so excited to get the opportunity to talk with him on today. It's really odd how we live really, really close to one another. However, we have not actually met in person. I followed him on social media platforms, and I just really love his style. He is known around town for his mustache. So, without further ado, I'd like to welcome Mr. Matthew Soto.
Hey, well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to come in and just share anything that I can bring value to your audience and to mine and to everybody else out there. So, thank you for the invite and thank you for having me today.
Yes, sir. So, let's jump right in. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so my name is Matthew Soto. I'm a local agent here in the DFW area, with Stash Realty Group and EXP Realty, but also a new network called Stash Network. And I'm married, have two kids, two awesome sons, very active, 7-year-old and almost a 4-year-old. And yeah, I just love life and love giving back. Been in the business for a few years now, full time, and just love it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I noticed in your profile you are a member of a group with it's called Wiley Saxey Garland Dads. Is that what I read?
Yeah, so what's crazy is I'm always trying to connect with people. I'm always just trying to be out there. And in the past I tried to create a group called DFW Dad Talk. Trying to bring dads. You hear about moms groups and all that and how successful they are, but I wanted something for dads, right? And it just never really took off. And it may be because sometimes men aren't as caring as women, or the ones that, are out there, they act too macho and they don't want to do. And have a friend here that I met locally in Wiley, and he was doing the same. He was coming to some of the Wiley Chamber business card networks on Wednesdays, and he was a CP. He's a CPA. His name's Stephen Payton, and he was like, "Hey, I'm a CPA, great, but I'm also looking for dad friends. I'm new to the area, and I'm looking for dad friends." And he created
Nice.
another group called the Wiley Saxby Murphy Dads. And I told him, "Hey, I tried to do that before. Didn't really have the time to devote to it, but I love that idea." And he brought me in into the group as well. And so, yeah, it's just a group of us joining with other dads locally, sharing our experiences in life as being a dad, how to raise your kid, the ins and the outs, and just really some great fellowship between the dads here in the area. So it's awesome. It's growing. We're trying to put together just meetups with dads, lunches, or meeting up at each other's houses on the weekends or something like that. And what it is just making dad friends, like Steven says. So yeah, it's an awesome group, and I love being a part of it.
That is pretty awesome. So, how many members do you guys have?
I think we're up to like 20 something dads here in the area, and we're just continually adding and getting to know dads, and just making sure they align with us and what the group is about. We're not in there to talk drama or anything like that. We're lifting each other up. Hey, are you going through something? How can we help you? And how can we really just create some dad leaders is what I like to look at it. Just leading in life, leading in their business, whatever it is, just becoming better human beings.
That's pretty awesome. So, in addition to you guys having a network of men who are coming together, you're talking, do you guys do like any volunteer work? Are you guys doing anything like just throwing one off the top of my head, Habitat for Humanity? Are you
Yeah,
guys
no,
doing
great
anything
question.
like that?
Right now, we haven't, but I'm sure it's in the works because we have an amazing group that just love to give back. And it's a fairly new group. Like I said, we only have about 20 people, and it's hard with everybody's busy schedules now with school back in session. With even COVID numbers coming up, it's really hard to try to get together. So it's just a Facebook group with some meetups in place. Like right now, we put out a poll of, hey, when's the best time for us to connect and enjoy some fellowship and a good meal? And it was, so far lunch is leading that, together in lunch to get to know each other a little bit more. So I'm sure that's coming because, like I said, we have some great, amazing dads in the area who love to give back. So it's just really getting the group established first to see what everybody's schedules are and when we can plan for those events.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I really do love that. And you're right. There's all kind of women's groups. There is moms groups, and
Yeah,
I love that. When I saw that, I was really intrigued by that. So kudos to you and your team for, putting that together and continuing on with that because that is something that's needed.
yeah, I
So
appreciate it.
shifting into your story and your journey, let's talk a little bit about your journey with real estate, how you got
Yeah.
into it, and your journey to how you have gotten to where you are right now.
Yeah, definitely. So, I graduated high school in 2003, and I went to Skyline High School, and there I was studying automotive. That was my what we call elective, my cluster, working on cars. And so I got into that business. But right after high school, I was young, and I was money hungry. You know what? 20-year-old, 19-year-old. 2 years after I graduated is when I got into real estate because somebody told me you can make as much money as possible. Well, at that age, no kids, nothing like that. I was money hungry, to be honest.
Mhm.
And so I did it part time. I didn't want to give up my full time because I still loved the automotive industry at that time, and so I got licensed in 2005. Well, when the great market crash came down a few years later, I
Mhm.
found it a little disturbing how back then when that happened, to me, in my opinion, a lot of agents, brokers, it was every man for every woman for himself, for themselves, because of that market crash. So to me, in my opinion, there was no real mentorship, real help to help guide me because I was just doing it at a part-time job. And
Right.
so I ended up letting my license go. I still stayed current with certain things, but I had to eat and stuff. And so I kind of took a step back from real estate, stayed with my full time job into automotive, and I used to work for different Ford dealerships around town selling car parts. So I've always
Okay.
been in sales. My entire life, I've been in sales, and so the automotive industry is it's different, especially when you work for a dealership. You're nothing but a number.
Okay.
You could have your best month of $1 million in sales, and they're gonna say, okay, now you got to do 2 million next month. They were never happy. They were never content. And
Right.
so I worked myself up into management, and I was working crazy hours. I'd be in the office probably about 5 a.m. and kind of stay till like 8, 9 o'clock, whatever it took, right, to make my department successful. And
Okay.
we did. We had some great successes, but as I got married, as I had a kid, I was like, this isn't the life I want for my family. If I'm working almost 80 hours a week, depending on what times I go in, I'm like, that's no life. I won't be able to be an amazing dad to my kids. And
Right.
so one day, while my wife was on maternity leave, I believe, in 2014, I just had enough of the automotive industry. I quit cold turkey, went home, and my wife's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I quit." She's like, "No, you didn't." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm on maternity leave. What do you mean?" I was like, "Don't worry, I'm getting back into real estate. I've always loved it, and I know me. I hustle. I know if it's up to me, where the next paycheck to put, feed my family is I'm going to do what it takes. Doesn't
Right.
matter." And so I knew my work ethic, and so I got back into real estate, reactivated my license in the end of 2014. I just went all in 2015, and ever since then we've been very blessed. It's been an amazing journey since then. My wife joined our team as well, and now we just started our own real estate team within EXP and also another network, to where it's kind of like your podcast where we want to connect and collaborate. In our industry, a lot of agents are small minded, where like you're down the street and we've never met in person. Think of
Right.
the opportunities in real estate. I mean, there's enough for you, for me, and for all the other 40 or 60,000 agents out there. And if we really want to lift our industry up and become better, we have to collaborate no matter what brokerage we're with, right? And
Absolutely.
so it's been an amazing journey, and that's what the Stash Network is we created that to attract agents, like-minded agents who want to collaborate and want to grow the business, doesn't view you or me or anybody else as competition because there's enough out there for everybody.
That's right. That's right. I love that. So tell me a little bit more about your wife joining the team. I saw that, and when I saw that message, it just made me smile.
Yeah, after we had our second kid, Julian, I've always had that entrepreneurial mind, and for her, she's always been in the corporate world and wanting that safety net. But she saw our success. She saw my work ethic and how we're getting it done. We've been blessed, the amount of people that we've been able to help,
Right.
buy, sell, and invest. And so, she said, you know what, I'm tired of the corporate world as well. I think we can do this. And I said, no, I know we can do this. I know her background is data, data analyst, databases. I mean, what do we use in real estate? We use a database.
Data.
We
Mhm.
track numbers. That's her strengths. And I needed that help. I needed the help where I can go and get the business, and I need somebody on the back end to take care of paperwork or growing the business from a different view. And so yeah, she joined. And working with your spouse is tough, but it's like any marriage. Whether she wasn't working with me and I just worked solely with our director of operation, it's like a marriage. It takes work. If you want it to last and you want it to work smoothly as possible, it takes time. And
That's
so, yeah, I mean, it's been a great journey as far as that as well, working alongside with her. I know my lane, I know her lane. We trust each other, obviously. I mean, we're married together, right? And so just
right.
having that clear communication, knowing the boundaries of when is work and when is home life and personal life, and it's just doing that. And so it's been amazing to have her along my side. And now with our director of operations coming in as well and taking over some key aspects of our business.
That's awesome. So I like how you said you know your lane and she knows hers. How did you guys determine who was going to do what?
That's a great question because it's still an ongoing conversation at times. But we look at our strengths. Especially for me, I'll be honest. I have a big ego. I used to have a big ego. Because always been in sales, and it came along my journey to realize that I need to put my ego aside and trust whoever it is that we're bringing into our team, and especially my wife. 'Cause
Right,
now we spend 24 hours a day. She's in the other office next to me, and then at home and everywhere else. And so it's really it took me a long time to figure it out to where I need to play to my strengths. She needs to
Mm-hmm.
play to her strengths, and we just trust each other. And so that's where it came. How we knew our lane. It's like, hey, your strength is here. My strength is here. So
Right,
let me go down this path and you go down this path. And even our director of operations, Sarah, she's been an amazing asset to us and she knows her strengths. So we all play to our strengths to give our clients the best experience possible. So it took us a
right,
while to figure it out, but it really comes down to what are you good at? What we try to spend time on making our weaknesses strengths, but why not just double down on our strengths and trust somebody else who's leveraging us on their strengths.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So you mentioned your kiddos. Do you intend to have your kiddos involved in the business?
What's crazy is, if you ask my 7-year-old, and it's crazy what they soak up at such a young age, right? Um, you know, in life, we tell everybody, if you're constantly arguing at home or whatever, your kids see that at a young age. And obviously, our conversations are real estate related. So if you ask my oldest, hey, what my name is, he'll say Matthew Soto Real Estate.
Oh,
He thinks my name is Matthew Soto Real Estate, which he knows my name, right? But if anybody asks him, "Hey, what's your dad's name?" Matthew Soto Real Estate. And so, if in life, if the opportunity is there, it's going to be there for them, right? We're building a legacy. We're building generational wealth for them. And should they
absolutely.
choose that path, great. If not, hey, no worries. I support them in whatever they do. But they are my little marketers out there, in school and stuff. I tell him, hey, you want to go on vacation? We got to hit these goals. There's days where he comes and says, hey, how many houses have you sold today? I'm like, you know what? That's a great question, and it goes back to my schedule. And they keep me accountable. They're my little accountability partners,
That's
because they want to go
awesome.
on vacation if we hit these goals and whatnot. So yeah, if in life that's what they intend to do and take over the business, then great. If not, no worries. We'll support them in whatever they want to pursue.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit more about what you're doing in the Wiley area. I know at one point you and Cordell Reynolds had a platform called the Digital Mayor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tell me a
So
little bit about that and then whatever else you guys are doing in the community.
yeah, definitely. So for me, it's always about networking. Our business comes from 80 to 90% referral, word of mouth. For real estate, and why? It's because people know, like, and trust us. But how do you do that? How do you build that relationship with somebody? And it's just being authentic, being who we are. And for me, it's always connecting with people some way, somehow. Even if they're not interested in real estate, that's fine. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for the relationship and how can I give back to others. And so, yeah, the digital mayor, it's something that we're going to definitely bring back, and it's just us going and supporting local businesses. Interviewing, the superintendent one day, different principals, teachers, and city officials, whatever it is about Wiley, and what makes Wiley great.
Hmm.
This is our home. We moved here 6 years ago, and we fell in love. Our kids are going through our amazing school district here, and this is where we planted our feet. Our roots. And so it's just getting to know different businesses in the area, restaurants, whatever they have, and just elevating them and giving back to them, supporting them, promoting them, marketing them so that their business can flourish. Because I'm a firm believer that if we support our small businesses and local businesses here, that's what keeps our community running.
You're
Imagine
right.
if all of our businesses started shutting down and whatnot. I mean, look at COVID. COVID hit, and a lot of places went out of business. But then
It's
the
sad.
community rallied together in restaurants and partnered with nonprofits, and and help them survive. But a lot of businesses didn't. So the digital mayor of Wiley was just that. It wasn't political. It was, how can we support our local businesses and community?
I love that. I would love to see that as a platform on the difference.
Yeah,
Because it's needed. And I think the more of us that are doing that in the area that we can touch, the better off our communities will be.
yeah,
Um, Lyndon always says that it's obscurity. That's the failure that small businesses have is the fact of just people not knowing that you're there.
yeah,
Some people don't have the knack for marketing and don't necessarily want to get out into the community, but this is what we're here for. And I think we have a responsibility to serve in that way. One of
yeah.
the things, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, you said it right there. We have a responsibility to serve. So it's not only about the digital mayor. Uh, I come from just giving back. And so what you just said, we have a responsibility to serve. And with that came, with me stepping up a little bit, because I said, this is where we're planting our roots. This is my kids' future, whether it's within the school district or the city. And so I started getting involved with the city of Wiley and serving on a few committees, just to better understand the city. I went through the Wiley Chamber leadership program just to get to know the city better. I volunteered and stepped up for Watchdogs this year at George Bush Elementary to lead that program, because I fell in love with that. And it's our responsibility to give. So many people point fingers from the outside on what they want a school district to do, what they want a city to do, but yet they don't get out and vote. You know, Everybody has a responsibility to get out and vote if you want to
It's
be
true.
heard. And it's crazy when you look at the numbers, for the number of voters who go out for Wiley. And I made it my responsibility to at least be a voice, and to, whether it's within attending school district meetings. And I posted the other day, uh, their jobs, school board, city officials, city council. I mean, a lot of them, uh, kudos to them. They have a huge responsibility to serve. the greater community of 58,000 and growing, residents and population here. And
Right.
so it's kudos to them because they're not going to please everybody, but they have to do what we voted them in. So we have to ensure that we trust them to do what's right for our community, whether
That's
it's
right.
school, city, or anything like that. So I loved how you said that it is our responsibility to serve, and I'm just trying to do, whatever I can to do that.
Just trying to do your part, huh?
That's it. Just trying to do my part.
That's right. Well, I love how you do your part. Like I said, I watch you on social media. I see the things that you post, and like when you're posting that you've submitted an offer, um, I'm praying with you, brother, when you
Well, I
are
appreciate
posting
it.
those because I know how important it is. I know how sensitive that can be when we're trying to get our clients served and we want to take care of them, especially in this market.
Yeah.
It's just been crazy to deal with. So I completely understand.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So tell me a little bit about childhood. You said you went to Skyline.
Yep. I'm a
So
class of
tell
'03,
us about
Skyline
your
Raider.
experience there.
Yeah, so growing up, I've always been. I went to Catholic school, kinder through eighth, right? And I had that experience, an amazing experience. Still talk to some of my childhood friends to this day. And when I got the taste of public school, when I went into, oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so when I went into high school, I started freshman year Skyline, coming from Catholic school. I kind of went crazy, right? I didn't know what public school was, and our time was a lot different back then when I was going through high school than probably what it is today. I don't know because I don't have high school students, but I talk to parents and see what's going on, and it was great. I have made many friends in high school, and just growing up as to be honest, I mean, I had that party life, going through high school. Most people wild out while they're in college. Well, I did it while I was in high school, and unfortunately, doing too much of that kind of put me in a different state growing up, and I was after I graduated and things like that. And so, it was an amazing experience. I don't regret anything in life of whatever I've gone through, and it's because whatever I did go through in the past, that's what made me today. But it all starts with us. We have to want that to change. So
That's
whether you're
right.
whether in life you're struggling, let's say with alcohol, drugs, or anything else, depression, your mind, it all begins in your state of mind. But nobody out there can make you change unless you want to make a change. And I did. I look back at my life and I'm like, wow, I've lived life. I'm only 36 years old and I've lived life more than anybody else probably has. And I use all those experience to make me who I am today and what my goals are today. And so growing up was an amazing experience, amazing journey to get me to where I am and what I have planned for the future.
That's amazing. So you were partying hardy in high school, huh?
Yeah, I partied hard. I had some amazing friends. I mean, back then that's what it was. It was we partied all the time, and got into trouble a lot of time. But thank God he had my back, and I never really got into trouble like some of my past friends in have. And so I was very thankful for that. I've always had an angel looking over me to make sure I didn't get in too much trouble that would affect me in life, and so I've always
Got
been
it.
thankful for that.
Well, that's good. So tell me about projects that you're working on. I know you have a lot of things going on, but tell us about some of the projects that you're working on, goals and things of that nature for the rest of this year.
Yeah, definitely. So, we have different things. I have real estate goals, I have life goals, I have family goals. I mean, and I don't really like to use goals. I use commitments. Because to me, a
Love it.
commitment is a lot stronger because goals, we always set goals. It's just like a New Year's resolution. We set it, but then we don't work towards it. And 3 weeks from now, we're already finished. We didn't hit it. We didn't hit our New Year's resolution goal or something like that. But when you use the word commitment, and this is what I teach our team and stuff, Man, that's a more powerful word. I've now committed to doing that, and I need to do whatever it is. So for our commitments for the rest of this year, obviously we want to sell as many houses as possible in this market. But in life in general, it's just you know giving back and serving. Like I said, I'm in so many things. I'm also a coach for 4U T-ball here in Wiley for my son's team,
Oh,
and
wow.
so it's just for me my life goals and being there more for my family. People talk about life balance; they want work-life balance, and although I view it totally different, it's I really do believe we have a work-life balance. That's because when I'm focused on work, it's all work, and when I'm
Right.
focused on family, it's all family. Sometimes they do, intertwine with each other, but I believe we have a good mix and lifestyle of what we're providing, and so it's always creating generational wealth. What can I do for my family? What can I do for
Got
my
it.
kids, for my wife? I believe that's my mission in life and how to give back to others. And hopefully my story connects with other people, and help them get out of a situation or a challenge that they're suffering from, and do better. So the biggest project is just that, giving back to people in any capacity, and way that I can, whether, like I said, it's either within the city, the school district, coaching, my son's t-ball, my team, my real estate team, supporting them, anybody who want to align with us in our network within EXP. And it's just giving back. I was raised, my mom raised me majority of my life, and she would give the shirt off her back to anybody.
Yeah.
I realize how a lot of times our parents, they lived paycheck to paycheck. But if we were to live that same lifestyle today, we probably wouldn't make it. Times have changed, things have gone up, obviously, and so it's just giving back. She showed me that, and for her, she passed away in 2017 from breast
Sorry.
cancer. Appreciate it, and her wishes were family and health, and that's what I focus on, family and health. And I use that in all aspects, whether it's business or life, and it's how can I help other people? Whether, like I said, if it's our team having a challenge with something in business or in life, what can I do to help them? It's just giving back.
Awesome. I love it. One of the things that you mentioned was work-life balance. I recently attended a conference for Women's Council of Realtors,
Yeah,
and we talked about work-life balance. And one of the speakers said that not she's not really looking for work-life balance. She's looking for harmony. And that just made so much sense to me because when you think about balancing something and trying to balance everything, it feels unachievable. But when you're in harmony, and like you said, when you're working, you're working. When you're with your family, you're with your family. And I think that when we learn how to level set expectations for the people around us to know that, hey, I'm with my family right now, we need to honor and respect this time, that will make all the difference. So I love how you talked about, work-life balance. And I'm going to start using commitment instead of goals. So thank you for that. I think that's
yeah, definitely.
a really great way to put that, committing to something, because that means so much more than just a goal. And when you said you set your goals, I thought about, remember that commercial? I forget what it is. It was a oven or something like that, and it says to set it and forget it. Do you remember that commercial?
No, I don't.
There
Maybe if
was
I
a
see it, it'll probably bring back, but it
It was
don't
like
come to
an
mind right now.
oven or something like that, like a rotisserie oven.
Hmm.
And the whole premise of it was you set it for the time and then you would forget it. And once you come back to it, it's done.
Yeah,
And with goals and things in life, that's just not how it happens. You actually have to put in effort and work to make it happen. So
yeah.
I really appreciate that. So tell me about your something big that has happened to you this year or even last year, because I feel like 2020 and 2021 is kind of blended together as one big year.
Yeah. Yeah, with the pandemic, however you want to explain to it, it's really opened my eyes and appreciation for teachers.
Mm.
when in spring of what was that 2020 when they never went back to school, it was a real eye opener in how underappreciated they are, how underpaid they are, and not only them, but like even our local heroes, police officers, paramedics, firemen, you know, people like that, how
Right,
underappreciated they are. And
right.
so, that's why we give back a lot. We give back, and we give back to them, because we appreciate them. And so, uh, it really opened my eyes in a lot of other things. One big thing that I committed to, this year in March, was to be sober, not have any type of alcohol in my life. And maybe it dealt with struggles, from the past, but since then been sober, and it's the best life. In our industry, how it's sad how anybody and everybody, we can drink every single other day. There's a vendor, there's an affiliate, there's somebody always wanting to take us out to happy hours and drinks. We're surrounded by alcohol, and there's so many people out there that struggle with that. And hopefully this resonates with somebody and makes a change and impact in their lives. And ever since committed to going sober and have done that, my life has just flourished in everything, not only in business but in life, my marriage, my relationship with kids, and what we're building for the future. And so that's one big thing that I've worked on during the pandemic, is being sober and committing to never touching alcohol again. Not even saying, "Hey, it's okay to have one drink." It's cutting it out of my life completely. And not only that, but I've also have gone closer to God. You know, what's crazy in what I said, in our industry, we're surrounded by alcohol. We're surrounded by events and parties and things like that, right?
Mhm.
And people tell you all the time, and I used to be one of them. Hey, don't go out there and talk about politics. Don't go out there and talk about religion and this and that. And it's like now I realize as I've grown, it's why don't we talk about religion? My religion could be different from you, but we believe in something, right? And
Right.
we all have that. No, it doesn't. We're not saying only talk about yours. It's why can't we just talk about it in whole? Everybody needs to believe in something, even if it's Scientology or even it's the universe, whatever you believe in something. So
Mhm.
why is it frowned upon us looking on that? And so, shout out to a great friend that I met in March at a conference in Orlando. His name is Justin Ford, and he started a daily prayer group call for our industry, where we pray for our industry. We give any type of prayer request we have or praise reports, and I start my day off by that. And
That's
I'm telling you
awesome.
that cutting out alcohol, man, my life has been amazing. It's been blessed.
That is amazing. I commend you for your commitment to be sober, to be alcohol free. Um, I know that's prevalent in our society, it's prevalent in our families. So I commend you for having the courage to be able to voice that out loud, because some people struggle
Yeah,
with things and they
they do.
never say anything to anyone.
Yeah,
So I commend you for
thank you.
that. And I commend you for giving praises to your God. Because that's one thing that we do fail to do, but it's important that we acknowledge that there is something bigger than us.
Yeah.
And whatever that is for you, we have to acknowledge that, there is a presence that's bigger than us. So I commend you for
Mhm.
that as well.
Thank you.
What about a failure that you've had in your life? We've talked about, your sobriety, but what has been one of the major failures that you've had in your life that has helped you to become the person that you are, that's really made an impact for you?
Man, how long do we have on this show? Because I
I know.
mean, there's so many, right? Um, I'll touch base with that because maybe this will help somebody. And it was my struggles with alcoholism. Like I said, started drinking at a very young age, and starting out in high school and just partying and whatnot. And so I grew up with that. And as I look back now that I am sober, it's crazy how I'm either, not dead, not in jail, or have a record, or I caused harm to other people with that. And it's just crazy how I look back on my life and how big of a struggle it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people all the time, like, people tell me, well, did you get help? Did you go to AA? And I said, no, because all those they do help. I'm not gonna lie. They may help you. Everybody has a different way, but if I can't make that change myself, there's
Right.
nobody else in life that's going to help me change. Not my wife, not my parents, not my kids, not an AA group. You have to take that first step. Now there are ways to get help, right? But
Right.
for me, I know me and the way I'm wired. It's I can do this on my own without going to any of those. And if I'm able to, then I'll be able to have a bigger impact. But it's first acknowledging it. Um, you know, everybody says they don't have a problem with it. Great. Maybe you are able to handle it, but then sometimes what if that one extra drink you had didn't, you know? And I've been there way too many times. And I finally realized that that's not the life I want. Growing up, we always want to do better for our kids, right? For our family,
Right.
or even for
Right.
future if we don't have kids right now. We always want them to be better than us. And you have to look at your past, but you don't dwell and stay there. You
Right.
look at it so that you don't go back there, and you want to propel. Something that we recently did, and I forgot where I heard it, but it was a great exercise where instead of us looking at our past, look at all of our accomplishments. Write down your accomplishments in life and focus on that, because then the next one is going to come. I married my soulmate. I had two kids. I'm built a great, successful business. I'm giving back to the community. Look at all the milestones in your life, all the accomplishments, not all the failures.
Right.
Because when you see that and you visualize and you saw those accomplishments, you know that the next level that you're trying to get to is obtainable if you keep putting in the work and getting there, because you've already accomplished so much in life. So I challenge people to do that. Write down a list of your challenge of not your challenges, but of your accomplishments in life, no matter what they are. Like I said, marrying my soulmate. Now working with her in the business, having two amazing kids. Having multiple properties that we own. Like, look at all the good,
Yeah.
because whenever you're struggling, you look at that list versus looking at all your struggles. That's going to help you get to where you want to go.
Absolutely. I love that. When did you realize that you had a problem with alcohol? Was that something earlier in your life, or was that just a realization here recently?
No, I've had it before. I've gone sober for 13 months prior because
Okay.
I fell out and maybe got out of hand somewhere somehow. And so it just I even going 13 months, I thought I could control it, right? And I eased my way with one drink and then another, and then like I said, it only takes that extra one.
Right.
Growing up, partying with friends in high school, I could probably we finished cases and cases of alcohol, bottles and bottles. And me realizing I'm not that high school 21-year-old whatever, right? Growing up, I don't have that
Right.
same capacity as I did back then. And so maybe all it took was that one extra sip that caused problems or anything. And so yeah, I had to come to realize that anytime I did that, I myself took it upon myself and said I need to stop. I have a problem. And I'm man enough, and I'm a human being enough to admit that I did, right.
Hmm.
And most people, they suffer with the same, but they don't want to put it out in public.
Acknowledge it. Yeah.
And that's okay. You don't have to. But for me, it's talking about it because, like I said, if you've heard my story, I'm here to help people. I want to give back, and if this story, if it helps me, if it causes me to lose business or to lose friends or to lose whatever, that's okay. That's not the path that God has given me. It's to
Right.
share this story to maybe help somebody listening that's struggling with the same, and telling them that they can get rid of that whatever they're struggling with. Whether, like I said, it's drugs or alcohol or depression or anything like that. It all starts with our mind.
Right.
And I'm a huge believer that you have to take that first step, or you have to reach out and ask for help. you
Right.
know and most people don't want to because they're afraid of what people are going to think. and,
Right.
and I
And the
used to be that way.
rejection.
Yeah, of
Right.
rejection. We all fear rejection. And especially in our industry, it's like, oh my God, somebody's not going to do business with me because of that. And that's okay. There's somebody else that will. I've
Right.
come to realize in my journey in business that that's the truth. I mean, just because somebody told me no doesn't mean everybody's going to tell me no. You
Right.
told me no. Hey, for whatever reason that was, awesome. I appreciate it. Let me go find the next person that it is. And so that's why I started talking about my story and sharing it with people, because it could help somebody. And I'm now not afraid to lose business or to lose a friend or somebody over me admitting this, or maybe even saying that now I'm more into God, into church, and
Mm-hmm.
talk about, things like that. I'm not afraid of that anymore,
Right.
and so, yeah, I mean, it's always been a problem and a struggle, and I've always worked my way out of it. But like I said, I'm here to make a bigger impact, not only in other people's life, but in my family and my kids. And when I see, I don't want to have an episode or fall out in front of them where I now either hurt somebody or damage them at a young age. I don't want them to be around that. You have to look at your past and plan for the future. Yes, because you don't want to be there. You always want to do better, and that's what I want to do. It's give everybody a better life, and it all starts with me and making sure that they don't experience what I did.
Right. I have a comment coming in, and
Yeah,
it says aligning yourself professionally with those who share your core values will allow you to create sustainable relationships that promote professional growth. And that is
yeah,
so true. And when you are aligned with the right people, you don't have to worry about who you're going to do business with because you're always going to have business.
yeah, definitely. I'm a huge believer of you are, who you surround yourself with. uh, you
Absolutely.
know, whether it's in business, whether it's the friends you're hanging out with, whether it's, the family members you're hanging out with, whatever that is, it's who are you surrounding yourself with? It's okay that, the people who got you to where you are today, or who's been there for you in struggles, I'm very grateful for all those people who did, from sleeping on people's floors when I was almost homeless and stuff like that, um, and going through hard times. I'm very appreciative and grateful for that. But if those people aren't going to help me get into the next level of where I want to go, where my path is, it's okay to
Mhm.
put them, not get rid of them, but just not surround myself as much with them, because our core
Right.
values don't align anymore. Your core values should change every year, because you should
Yeah.
always be better and want to do better. So your core values can always change as you grow in life or in business, and it's huge to surround yourself with. And that's why I give a huge shout out to Justin Ford. He's in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan area, and he paved the way for that. In our industry, it's I just attended a conference, last week here in Grapevine at the Gaylord, and
Mhm.
he was there as well, and it was an amazing event where Tony Robbins came, and every morning they met up for prayer in the lobby. You know, they, it's crazy how you when you surround where what you want and other people walking by, it's okay if they pass judgment or not, because there are other people around you that believe in the same things that you do, and it's just surrounding yourself with them. And so,
Yeah.
I've met a lot of amazing agents who have gone down the path to sobriety, and how it's changed their lives for the better. And so I've surrounded myself with a lot of them. I've reached out to a lot of them. Hey, how have you dealt with this? What are you doing? How are you helping? um, you know and the other day, another agent asked me, he's like, hey, are you still sober? And I said, yeah, I am. He's like, hey, well, there's another agent here that wants to create a Facebook group for agents, sober agents, who are there to help other people continue down that path, right? And I was like, that's amazing.
I love
where
it.
where in our industry do we have that? It's just like with Justin Ford, and some other people who have created the group of, like-minded agents who love to pray and talk about God, and that group has grown. So yes, it's always surrounding yourself with like-minded people, and what I say is try to be the dumbest person in the room, and I say that with a grain of salt, right? Just because I want to be with those people wherever I want to be and get to, I'm surrounded by those people to where I'm okay not being there yet, because they're going to help lift me to get there. And then
Exactly.
and then once I'm there, I'm going to look for other people at the next level, and surround myself with them to get me where I want to go. It's always, yeah, you are who you surround yourself with.
And then and when you make those elevations, then you look down to bring up the next level of people that are behind you. So it's
Amazing.
all
Yep.
about lifting each other up. I really appreciate your
That's it.
transparency because alcoholism, drug abuse, mental health issues, all of these are issues and matters that for some reason have been frowned upon, and these are real life issues that people are really dealing with,
Yeah.
that nobody wants to talk about because
Yeah.
it's not the popular,
Yeah.
or
Exactly.
someone's going to pass judgment, or you're going to be rejected. So I really appreciate you for your transparency and sharing that, and I think that what you have communicated to us today will help somebody. I think that it will touch somebody because there are a lot of people dealing with a lot of things that don't have the strength or the ability to even know what to say to ask for help. So I
Yep.
think you doing that is awesome. I know that I at one point read some stats about real estate agents specifically who have drug abuse issues, um, also alcohol issues, and there was a huge stat about real estate agents and suicide. I don't have those stats before me today, but it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And so you bringing that up is amazing, and my prayer is that somebody will be touched by that and will reach out to either you or me,
Yeah.
to get some further assistance. So
No,
we
definitely.
want to put a call to action right here. If there is anybody that's going through anything like that, please reach out to Matthew Soto. He's going to provide us with some hashtags, and his number is scrolling down at the bottom. Please reach out to
Yeah.
him, reach out to myself. If there's anything that we could do to help you with this, because we are in this together. It does not matter what brokerage we're from, doesn't matter what color we are. We all pretty much want the same things for our life and for our families.
Yeah, definitely. And like I tell people all the time, yeah, you can always reach out to me. You just Google the Mustache Realtor, you'll find me somewhere. Right? That's what people part of our branding. But yeah, I'm here to help anybody. And if I can't help you, I'll tell you, and I'll try to find that person. Being in real estate, we're really connectors within our communities and with other people, and we have a huge network, so why not help other people connect? And so if I can't help you, I definitely know somebody who probably can, and I'll direct you to them because I've surrounded myself with some amazing people who just love to help, and that's what it's about. And trust me, there's always someone there that to help you, whatever it is that you're struggling with, alcohol, drug abuse, mental health, anything. I mean, financial, whatever it is, I probably know somebody, or even you may know somebody as well. I mean, we're connectors. That's what we do in life. And yeah, I'm always here to help anybody that I can.
Thank you for that. So let's talk about this mustache. I've been dying to ask you, how long have you been growing it? It's so awesome. I love it when you have it where it's hanging down. I've seen pictures of that
Yeah.
as well.
So you know, couldn't ever really grow facial hair. So as it started coming, my mustache started growing. I was like, you know what? Let's just keep growing it. And then my wife, she's like, let's maybe create something behind that, what some type of marketing piece or something, just whatever. And it's stuck, and people tell me all the time, well, you can never cut it. And I tell people I do have a plan and a mission in life where one day I will. I need to grow an audience and a following more behind it to where I'll end up doing a charity event, to an organization that's near and dear my heart, and raise. It's going to take a ton of money for me to cut it, and I'll cut it when we hit that
That's
number.
awesome.
So, when we get there in life, I mean, I'm not ready for that right now, but it will come one day, so it will be cut. But it just kind of grew on me, and I just stuck with it, and we created our own marketing behind it. I tell people they are, oh, well, that's your brand. I'm like, well, my brand is me. It's just me and my story. Everybody
That's
has
right.
their own brand.
Right.
This is just the marketing behind the brand. And yeah, when people see mustaches, now they think of me.
Every
I
time.
it doesn't, it never fails, and I love it. And I get sometimes people buy me gifts. I've gotten Christmas ornaments with mustache, slippers, stockings.
That's
People
awesome.
take pictures in stores with the mustache. Say, "Hey, I just thought of you" and stuff. I'm like, "Oh, that's amazing." And so, yeah, I mean, that's where it came from, and we just stuck with it. And I said, you know what, we're gonna keep it. And when I want to make a huge impact in the community when we're ready, and I'm talking about it's gonna be huge, go maybe $500,000 raised for charity or something like that,
That's an
where people
expensive
can donate.
mustache.
Yay! But it's not for me; it's for somebody else.
That's right.
I'm handling the maintenance, but it's going to benefit a huge organization.
I love
When we
it.
find that one.
I
So
love it. I love your heart to serve too. It's just amazing. You can actually hear the passion. I mean, it just exudes out of you, your passion to serve, and that responsibility that you carry. I could see it, I can hear it, I feel it. I am just glad that we had this opportunity to chat. I'm looking forward to getting to know you more,
yeah,
and
definitely.
potentially work with you on some different things. I would like to get some information about that prayer group. Um,
Yeah, definitely. I'll
would
send it to
love
you.
that. Yeah, would love that. So we're coming almost to a close, but before we do that, I want you to share with our listeners and our viewers how they can connect with you, and then also just one statement of impact, if you will, that you would like to leave our listeners and viewers with on today.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, like I said, you can Google your mustache realtor and I'll pop up anywhere and everywhere. My information and numbers on the bottom. You can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, anything like that. And so, my message for today is, to help somebody. It's, you got to really take the first step yourself. Nobody's going to be there. We're all there to help you and guide you, whatever it is. But you have to take the initiative to make the change. You have to want the change for yourself, not for your kids, not for your family, not for your loved ones, for you. And that's what I tell people all the time. People may say, "Oh, well, you're doing it for your kids." That's not a big enough why. I want it for me, and my kids and family are going to benefit from it, and everybody else who surrounds themselves. So you have to be the change for you and do things for you, do things that make you happy, because when you yourself are happy, everybody around you are going to be happy. Whether it is your spouse, your partner, your kids, or your girlfriend, or whoever it is in life, or your team or your business partners, anything, you have to be happy, because when you're happy, everybody else will feed off that, know that you're happy, and they will be happy. So you have to do it for yourself and nobody else.
I love that, Matthew. Thank you so much for your time
Yeah, thank
today.
you.
Thank you for agreeing to come on the show with me and just talk. I've learned so much from you, and what I've seen on your social media platform matches exactly what I've experienced on today. And I just want to keep this relationship going. I want to connect you with Lyndon Wilson and the
Yeah,
difference. Want to make sure that you're a part of our community so that we can help to further get that word out about serving in our communities, being a voice, being a resource, all of that. So thank you again so much for your
yeah, no, thank you.
time. I just want to thank the difference for the opportunity to have this platform to be able to meet with people in and around our communities, to have the ability to connect in our communities. You can reach me by a hashtag chit chat with Char. I'm also on all social media platforms as well under Char Buyers Realtor. And then also just want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. This has been an amazing experience for me in the last couple of weeks. The response and has just been overwhelming. The response and support to what we're trying to do here has been overwhelming. It brings me to tears every time I think about how much love and support there is out there. One of the things that you mentioned, Matthew, was to be able to ask for help. And sometimes we don't know what to ask for. So sometimes you just need to get in these conversations so that then it's exposed to you what you need to do and what your next steps are. So again, I really, really appreciate you for joining us here today.
Yeah,
And we are excited. We're excited. I just got a note in that says that our show is averaging over 1,500 viewers per week.
it's
So
awesome.
that's pretty awesome. That's pretty
Yeah.
awesome. So
If we could be the
um,
difference for one person, it's all worth it.
that's right. And that's all it needs is one person. If we can
That's it.
touch one person, then our responsibility has been achieved. So, again, thank you for joining Chit Chat
Yeah.
with Char. Matthew, I'm looking forward to connecting with you more. And this has been a great show. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we sign off?
Nope. Thank you. I mean, please reach out. Anybody, if I can help you in any way.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And you guys go be great.